let's talk about production. Which album's production changed hip hop? Who do you got?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, each album did its own thing. Each album, listen, each album spawned children of its own sound. Yes or no? Right? We can go through names if you want to right now. We could talk about the Kanye's, the Pharrells out of the tree of Tribe versus just, you know, a slew of even inside Wu-Tang projects just on their own side. Like those two projects spawned sounds. I mean, you know, let's be clear. The two albums, I think, respectfully, you guys can agree or disagree or speak your piece. When people talk about Tribe Called Quest, it's two albums they bring up. It's Low End Theory and Midnight Marauders, and even that's a battle in itself because it's like, which is the one?
Right.
So,
I gotta see the Wu-Tang production because RZA introduced that whole karate flick and that darkness, that dark sound.
Okay, that's you kind of right.
I would argue that a lot of RZA's, majority of RZA's stuff is more in-house. He doesn't really have that. Not saying he doesn't, but his stuff is more Wu, but not really outside of that.
True. He did score, well, it was his own movie, but he did score a movie. I think he did some other stuff like for TV and whatnot. But it's still in, but yeah, you're right. As far as producing outside of, he didn't really.
And I think, what's the name, have scores under his belt too, Q-Tip, because he's done.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Q-Tip's got
tons.
great production.
Me and Good Rebel was talking about how dope he is as a producer.
Guys, just to be clear.
But you're talking about the albums though.
Thank you, Triple. Literally, I was going to remind everybody in the room right now and everybody in the chat room as well, because I want everybody's opinion in the chat room specifically, because I know it's going to be a live one tonight. We're talking about the production, again, like I feel like specifically Midnight Marauders gets that shine of like Sgt. Pepper's kind of album of like, you know, of like hip-hop, like, yo, you got to own this to understand that. And same thing goes for 36 Chambers. So ironically, they both are completely, like what somebody said, the hard versus soft, you know, pause. It's just, they're both really opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to the hip hop world.
For sure.
So that's the question. Again, it's a tough one. I'm glad I'm not you guys. Which one of these projects define the next era? DJ Scandalous.
I think overall, if you look at the impact of this particular album and the long-term legacy of Tribe, produce more term legacy producers. So from Tribe, you had Jay Dilla, which then went into the whole C.R.E.A.M, which then went into Flying Lotus, which then went to a whole league of producers that
your Questloves,
so that's the only thing where I would say in this case the legacy of Tribe is just a little bit longer, because I think for the Wu, you have RZA, you have True Master, Fourth Disciple, but I think that's kind of where it stops a little bit. I mean, other than Bronze, I think Bronze Nazareth is a Wu producer.
Yeah.
But then after those guys, it kind of gets a little hazy for me. But for Tribe, is a lot longer, I think, in this opinion. So that's why I give my edge to the Tribe in this particular question.
Okay, but do you think that the Tribe influence started with this album? Because I would argue that it started with Low End Theory.
No, agree. Yeah, and
absolutely. So I think
that's a whole other argument in itself.
Yeah, and to almost think, it did start with Low End Theory, but to me, this was the next level tier because the samples were elevated, the mixing was elevated. How they even approached the album sonically was even different. That's a whole nother lane of story we can go into. You know what I mean? So to your point, it did start, but I think this is the next level to that.
All right.
Judy Scandalous putting his vote down. Not scared to stand on that hill. Anybody else standing on?
I'm gonna piggyback off of what Scan said. I'm gonna go with Tribe on this one.
Oh shit! Okay, I mean because okay, no, you know what? You don't have to break it down, brother. That's your stance. That's your stance.
No,
that's all good. I mean, if that's your vote, that's your vote. We keep it pushing around here. Triple C don't got to explain nothing when he puts his vote down. He just keeps it pushing. I feel you. Listen, Ike, you're sitting over there. You've been very chatty in round number one over here. Now you're sitting back and relaxing. I ain't see you smoking yet, so I don't know why you're so relaxed.
Because you know, I'm trying to put this all together. You're saying that the Tribe album. I'm asking. You're asking.
You said I'm saying. I'm like, no,
yeah,
I'm
asking. You're saying the Tribe album, or you're asking if the Tribe album had more influence in hip hop than this Enter the 36 Chambers, production-wise, right?
Yes. Which of these?
And like I hear everything for the Tribe, but I'm trying to think about where everybody thought when they first heard, like Triple C said in the first round, what RZA was putting together. All the sounds that he was sonically putting together at that time, all the food flicks, how dirty the drums were, how he was even EQing to get the sounds from the drums and the samples. And so to say that the Enter the 36 Chambers didn't have an influence on hip hop as far as recording wise, as far as the sound that everybody else was trying to get to wise, makes it difficult. But you know, what Scan had said about the influence with Jay Dilla and the Flying Lotus and all that's very true too. You know what I mean? So I'm over here contemplating, waiting for somebody else to jump out off the fucking roof. You know what I mean? While I like,
yeah, but I chose you.
Contemplate a little bit more.
I picked
you know what? I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the Wu-Tang production on this one.
Oh,
and
shit.
I think this is probably the one that gives me the slight edge on this whole thing. It's Wu-Tang, because Wu-Tang was the first one for me anyway that made me look at hip hop different. You know what I'm saying? And it was the
Tribe didn't do that?
Everything. What happened?
Tribe didn't do that. Tribe was like, I remember just even watching like an El Segundo video and being like, these
Tribe was dope. Tribe was dope, but you got to think about, they already had the album out, right? The Low End Theory. When Wu-Tang came out, that was
and the album before that.
That was a whole
different. It was a whole different smack in the face sound, and it's like they got all of this crazy. You're like, wait, hold on a second. What? Wait. It just made me want to start looking at where production came from, what sample came from, why were these dudes smoking weed or dust listening to this 60s music? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, fair enough. I like that explanation. We're currently tied at the moment when we come to the question of production and which one of these two albums production changed hip hop. Who wants to step up? You know who you are. Who you got?
I will yield to the Reverend.
Oh,
Ooh,
Reverend Doctor. I see you shine. I see you shining, baby. I see you shining.
I was gonna jump right at it, but I agree with Scans. If it wasn't Wu-Tang, first of all, it's 9 against 4, and then maybe 3.
Fair enough. Well, on that album, it's 3, I guess. Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Droby wasn't around at that point, right?
Yeah, but the whole 90, he produced the whole track. The whole 90 produced.
As far as the production, I love the production on the 36 Chambers. I mean, I absolutely love that album, but Midnight Marauders was a different type of animal, man. It just,
yeah.
And I don't know if you pay close attention, they're using the same type of records, actually. RZA is just putting kung fu shit in there. He's throwing like extra stuff in there. They're using like the same type of records. Like RZA's using Syl Johnson, you know, Q-Tip is using David Axelrod, or it was, you know, it was they were using.
They were digging from the same crates
for longevity. Like I stand on the hill. I stand on that I've always stood on this show is the one I listen to more is Who I Got.
Said this before. The good Reverend Doctor putting his vote down. He stood on that hill before on this show. It's not new to me, so I understand his stance in life right now. When he picks a Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders, production changing hip hop. DJ Hobo, you've danced your way out of situations before. You are no longer dancing. You've been cornered. Pause. Who do you got?
I was just being respectful. I was observing. I was watching. I was intaking information, if you will. Everyone makes some really good points, man. Like the Tribe album, I'm gonna say the Tribe album is really dope. The one of my favorites is the Minnie Riperton sample, and when he explained how he got that, and I saw how he got that, incredible. Incredible. I love that album, very dear to my heart.
But
however, the Wu-Tang album and the sound for me changed everything. And everything. I mean, I love Kung Fu movies, so the fact that he was throwing that in, the way that he used the Shaolin versus Wu-Tang to start the album, and then just what it sparked after that, man. I mean, the education of Sonny Carson and Iron Man.
Respectfully, we're talking about this album.
You said what spawned production. That's right. That's what we're talking about.
You know what? You're allowed to stand on that hill.
Gotta relax.
Wow.
So
I have a new remote control, DJ Hobo. I will mute you with the quickness, sir.
So, anyway, just that sound that it changed, because I felt like people I agree. People chase the Tribe sound for sure, and it spawned some great producers. But I also feel like people chase that Wu-Tang sound.
Absolutely.
And they tried to get it. Some got closer than others.
Jay Dilla's probably the closest.
Jay Dilla, probably the closest.
Under the Tribe camp, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of from that umbrella, you know, that trickle, whatever you want to kind of. The umbrella.
Well,
But
there's somebody you're leaving out, little brother.
Oh, yeah.
brother.
That Ninth Wonder sound, that I would agree.
Ninth Wonder sound.
I would
Ninth Wonder makes no beats.
They said they became a group because of Tribe.
Mm.
There you go. Is that a quote?
Yeah.
Definitely no.
Listen, I need to know what the chat room's thinking. DJ Ho, please, if you don't mind, just give us a quick update because I know I see it moving around. I want to read what's going on, but you know,
it's still moving.
I see it. I need to know what the people are feeling right now because it's a fucking insane question. Even I was struggling when I wrote it. I said, I don't want to phrase it. Go ahead.
You can scroll up to what Black Moses said. He was just talking about some stuff that who was, I guess, what groups were spawned by.
Yeah. Diggable Planets, De La Soul, PM Dawn.
Nah, De La
Artifacts. Rest in peace to Tame One.
Rest in peace, Tame One. Rest in peace, Hurricane G.
Hurricane
my
G.
God.
Seriously, man. Condolences, man.
And Hyro, and he said many more groups. I agree with that. Although I feel like De La probably would have been De La without Tribe. So I'm going to take them off the list.
Absolutely. De La is fucking De La.
De La is fucking De La.
Yeah.
They're alive, baby. And
They would have
shout
been
out to
De
the
La
bill.
without Tribe.
They both met when they were in high school.
Did they?
Yeah, both groups met when they were in high school. Ali and Tip went to high school together, and then they.
Oh, I heard this story.
I thought there was. Oh yeah.
No. Matter of fact, Dirty battled Q-Tip at one point in time.
Yeah.
At one point in time, he did, but that was later. But when they,
And I think they came to Queens. They came to Queens, and like he told us on the Math Hoffa show. Like
I think because Q-Tip went to high school in Manhattan. So I think.
So did Ali.
Yeah, they went to the same high school. So
they went to that high school then.
Virgin.
They went to Tip though. I know that much. He used to go by Jay Nice. He said that Dirty was outside like, yo, where's Jay Nice? Where's Jay Nice? And they battled. A young dirty bastard is like, eee. So listen, what else they say in the chat? Because like I said, we can let them breathe. Are they getting anxious? Because like I said, we keep moving. I just want to know what the people are thinking. Can we shout some names out? Who's in here tonight?
Malcolm Tent said De La was out before Tribe, which I think is true.
Sure, it is.
1989.
I have a question for the room real quick. Since we're dissecting years right now, is it safe to say that they're all really just spawn of Jungle Brothers? Because they're native tongues, literally.
No, Jungle Brothers.
They're the first. Jungle Brothers are first.
Yeah, Jungle Brothers were first.
Yeah, Jungle Brothers were
first. Tip's first verse is on a Jungle Brothers album.
Tip's first verse is on a Jungle Brothers song, but De La was before Jungle Brothers.
I feel De La was first. As the first.
I think
I don't think so. Can that?
When was Our House Shoe? We can look it up.
I would say Girl Our House was like 89. 88, 89.
I'm going off hood memory, so
let's look it up.
I'm going off. I'm smoking off camera, so I wouldn't rely on it. But I would say like 80, 88, 89.
3 Feet High is 89.
Straight Out of the Jungle is 88.
But that first from De La Soul was also 88.
Oh, okay.
Same year.
Well, who's first?
I remember platooning first, personally.
Well, it says Jungle Brothers came out November 8, 1988.
Right. So who's that? De La first then?
No, tomorrow. Wow, tomorrow.
Listen, it's a good month. Listen, November was a good month for hip hop. Let's just be clear.
What?
We'll get back to the chat and we'll get back to all of that. Guys, please let us know what you're thinking in there. And again, like, subscribe, comment, eats, beats, and rhymes. Listen, it's already happening. We're talking about round number 2. Which album's production changed hip hop? What do you think happened? The room's tied. The room is tied up. Both teams get a point on the board.